Well, hello, my St. John the 23rd family. It's Father Geoff Rose, your weekend associate, with a little good news for you on this Friday. It's coming to us from our readings for the day, reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. This is chapter 15, 12 to 17. Jesus said to his disciples, "This is my commandment. Love one another as I love you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I no longer call you slaves, because a slave does not know what his master is doing. I've called you friends, because I've told you everything I've heard from my Father. It was not you who chose me, but I who chose you, and appointed you to go and bear fruit that will remain, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. This I command you, love one another." The Gospel of the Lord. Wow, right? It's the word love. And in English, we just have one word for it. We love pizza, we love our dog, we love our mom. And it's so limited. We know in Greek there are many words for love. They separated out familial love. They separated out romantic love. And of course, the love Jesus is speaking of here, agape, the self-sacrificing love. And that's the one he's asking us to think about. And really, again, he's commanding it of us, right? Because in the West, often love is more the emotional or the feeling word. And the reality is you can't command emotion or feeling. Cry! I want you to cry right now. I demand you cry. I command you to laugh. It just doesn't work that way. And that's how we know that's not what Jesus is talking about here. You can't command people into emotion or feeling. But you can say to people, I want you to make a decision to love. And I was thinking in preparation for this little reflection, in my own life, as an oblate, I took vows, and that was a decision to love. As a priest, it was a decision to love. Married couples, it's a decision to love. There are many of them that we do in our lives, right? They're decisions to love. And as we go about in our journey, it's like the compass point that says, I'm going this way, because we don't know what we're going to see. I had no idea what I was getting into. Young couples, when they're in their wedding, I will often say to the people behind them, do you think they have any idea what they're getting themselves into? And of course, on some level, they do. They've done their preparation. But on a whole other level, we don't know where our lives are going to take us. But if we're going to say, when we come across a decision to be made, we go back to the decision to love. This commandment that Jesus gave us. Because as he said, if you do that, right, you'll bear fruit. And not just any fruit, fruit that remains. And that's what we all need. More than ever, we need that. As I said, I often use this phrase when I'm talking about God and how he made us. I say he loved us into existence. And I was thinking about how in my life and in all of our lives, we've been loved into the next steps of our journey. My parents laying down their lives, sacrificing of themselves for me and my sisters, the people of my parish community, teachers that I had, relationships and friends, right? People that love us to the next steps of our journey. And we do that for one another. When I see things on TV or I witness something maybe at school and go, there it is. There's the laying down one's life for another. And it makes me say, man, I've got to get closer to that. I got to head more down that road and get more on that journey. We do that for each other. We're doing that for each other right now in this pandemic, right? We're making decisions, painful ones, costly ones, but we're saying that we're going to lay down our lives for the good of others and for the good of the whole. And now we're at a point where we're having to look and say, how is that having an impact on everyone around the world, not just ourselves? And so a lot of difficult decisions to be made in our lives. But I hope we go back to the decision to love, the command to love from Jesus Christ, because he knows that's what we need to get rid of our fear and our anxiety, is to be reminded of the fact we're loved. And again, that's what's so hard right now, is that we can't do all those things we usually do to come together as a parish community, to visit friends and to hold hands and to hug and to let people know they're loved. And so we better get very creative and intentional about how we're going to do that, right? It's so necessary, this command to love. People love me to my next steps of my journey, and I want to love you to your next steps of your journey, because that's the fruit that will remain. As he started it, as he ends it. This is my command. Love one another. And so whatever we see today, whatever we see tomorrow, We go back to the decision, and then we look through the lens of love and say, this is how I'm to act. This is how I'm to behave in this situation, in this moment of time, because it loves people to their next steps of the journey. It's a tall order, we know, but anything less, it's just cheap. It's cheap. And Jesus couldn't sell us something like that. He wasn't trying to sell us anything, right? It's like, this is the way, the truth, and the life. Love one another. I hope you have a great day. I hope you know I love you. May God be praised.